This video is brought to you by Straight Goods News, Canada's alternative online news source. Visit straightgoods.ca.
More clear, Justice Campbell, he went as far as to ordering the costs to the applicants. It was a slam dunk. It was almost a no-brainer. They knowingly and willingly violated the law. What that says about the minister is one thing, but if they have any respect whatsoever left for due process, they have to put the brakes on the wheat board legislation for this year and allow the Canadian Wheat Board to market the grain from the 2012 harvest. And if they want to have another go at this, they're going to have to let producers have a vote first.
Now the government's argument has always been that they ran on a clear platform, that they wanted to end the monopoly, and that by winning the election, that was the mandate. Does this court ruling effectively demolish that argument?
Yeah, they were on the May 2nd general election was not a plebiscite on the future of the Canadian Wheat Board. In fact, during the election, we have Minister Ritz on record telling farmers, don't worry, nothing's going to happen to the Wheat Board without putting it to a vote. You know, essentially the legislation says so. And I've had prairie farmers call me and say, yes, I voted Conservative, but I'm pro-Wheat Board, and we were promised we'd have a vote before anything happened on the Wheat Board. We now know that they knowingly and willingly broke the law. They ran roughshod over everything to do with this legislation. And for the Law and Order Party, I mean, what does that say about respect for law and order? I mean, the poor guy that didn't blow a breathalyzer is kicked out of the caucus. We've got a minister of the Crown that knowingly and willingly violates the very legislation that governs his mandate as the minister responsible for the Canadian Wheat Board.
And the bill is now before the Senate.
The bill is now before the Senate.
So is your understanding then that this bill should not progress any further in the chain until this court decisions?
This bill should not go another step in the parliamentary process until the courts have finished ruling, and I believe this particular ruling will be upheld by the the higher courts, and that would force them to put this to a vote of prairie farmers. And if they do put it to a vote of producers, and 50% plus one say that they want to do away with the Wheat Board, you won't hear another word from us. That's all we've been asking for all along. Live up to your legislated commitment to a vote, and they've been stubbornly refused to do so. The whole treatment of the Canadian Wheat Board and Bill C-18 has been a legacy of dirty tricks. They tried to arbitrarily change the grains the Wheat Board uses. The court slapped them down for that. They tried to fix the voters list when they couldn't do that. They tried to gerrymander all of that. Everything they've tried, they failed. And this is the problem when you're being governed by ideology instead of some actual business case for changing the Wheat Board legislation.
Can the government proceed with what it wants to do while it seeks leave to appeal?
If they have any respect whatsoever for the parliamentary process, they would put the brakes on Bill C-18 until such time as the superior courts have ruled on the matter.
But they can, if they want to, they can still proceed legally speaking?
They've demonstrated throughout their mandate that they'll do whatever they damn well please, whenever they damn well please, regardless of what the law says. And if they're willing to break the law to fulfill this ideological free market flight of fancy, then I have no doubt that they are willing to defy this court order. They even ordered costs. I mean, the judge was so absolute in his ruling. He says, as a successful party, I award costs to the applicants. They're not going to win this in the superior court either.
But what I'm asking, though, is from your knowledge, can they legally proceed with the bill while they seek leave to appeal? Would that be breaking a law?
I honestly don't know.